Alright. Let's see. So, this is in fact, although I have generally hidden all evidence of the previous runs for anyone who didn't happen to see them already, this is technically the third time I'm attempting what I have called the Karen run, because I feel like it is really out of character for me to play games, or to choose rude or unkind options in games. But Scarlet Hollow, it's like it's not the same as being like evil in games, which I hate doing. There's just a lot of options in which you can be very rude to people, and with the way interpersonal relationships work, like people can like or dislike you. And so I have long been curious and wanted to sort of provide a version for other people as well. What happens if nobody likes you? And so my concept is that this character is a bit of a, the stereotypical Karen as per the internet memes, as in, like, very rude and entitled. In the past, I have done this as this character can talk to animals and doesn't like people, but is generally nice to animals. But I keep feeling like it's not quite mean enough to be achieving my goals. And perhaps because I am bad at playing that sort of thing. So I'm trying again, and this time I'm removing the talk to animals aspect. And originally I was gonna try to stream it so that I had at least one run that had every skill, but this is such a specific theme run that I'm gonna go with. The skills I'm choosing are just what I think will work best, and specifically, I have given it some thought, and I'm going with Powerful Build, and I have decided that her other skill is going to be Mystic, but she's in firm denial. Oh, hello, Johnny! So as you can see, I'm trying again with the Karen run, and I'm gonna try this time to actually be rude in all of the dialogue options, a thing that I'm traditionally bad at. But I was saying earlier. Yes, something like that, Johnny. It is. I'm just trying to see what it is like to be disliked in Scarlet Hollow, because I never play it that way. And most people aren't going to, and I just want to provide this as an educational for anyone who doesn't want to have to play it themselves, and also to just see what it's like. But I keep not quite achieving it the way I want, so this is my hopefully third time's the charm, and this will be the run that I actually publish. But we'll see. So, Powerful Build, mostly because there's nothing in that oh, hello! Thank you for the follow, Unicorn Now! Welcome to my stream. So I'm just starting, obviously. So we're choosing traits for this character, and it's like, there's a lot here that I don't want, right? Like, somebody who is, like, the way I have envisioned this Karen, she's not observant or empathetic. She's definitely not actually attractive enough to be liked, or at least not, this kind. Booksmart didn't quite work when I tried it before. Talk to animals, I'm removing the part, like, I was originally thinking of doing it as mean to people but nice to animals, but I feel like that gets in the way of my actual goals of the run. Street smart, I don't think I want her to be that good at lying. So what this has narrowed it down to is Powerful Build, because that's fairly personality neutral, and Mystical, but so what I've decided to do is say that her other skill is mystical, but she is in deep, deep denial about it. So, that is what we will be running, and let us begin. You jolt awake as the bus hits a particularly nasty bump. You feel like you'd only just managed to start drifting off, and now here you are, awake again and still exhausted. For a moment, you're hazy on the details of where exactly here is, confusing this bus with the many others that came before it. But as your mind continues to reassert its existence in the waking world, The past few days come back into focus. The long-lost cousin, the bad news, the 26 hours of bus rides, with countless late-night stops and seedy depots that felt unsafe even in the middle of the day. You wouldn't normally find yourself traveling like this, but your cousin bought the tickets. The funeral of Pearl Ann Scarlet, your cousin's mother and your aunt, seemed like something you shouldn't ignore, even considering your own late mother's rocky relationship with this side of the family. Mystical. But it was also more than just the social pressure of the invitation that pushed you to accept it. Something has been tugging you back to this place your entire life. There was no choice to be made, because you were always going to find your way here. So when your cousin called, you knew what had to be done. And now the end of your long journey is in sight. You're almost in Scarlet Hollow. Stranger. So anyway, as I was saying... Oh no, he's still here. He's been sitting next to you for the past 5 hours, talking at you without pause. You're not sure he even stopped when you started to doze off. At first you thought he was just being friendly, but that was several hours of one-sided conversation ago. Stranger. I was up in Maryland looking for work, but mostly messing around because I was a dumb teen. Me and my buddies were doing our usual prank stuff, you know, pushing joggers into the harbor, that sort of thing. Let's go straight to Karen. Why are you talking to me? Oh, shoot, and I also forgot. I have started using the Scarlet Hollow's official Picrew for making your own character to make character profiles. And I do have one for this character. So let me just set that up. Because I think it's a great look. Very frowny. Let's see. Why isn't it appearing? Oh, yes, they do. The artist of the game made the art for the Picrew. I mean, a lot of it is just elements of the characters that already exist, but it's still, you know, you can mix it around and make your own characters that look perfectly in the art style because they are the art style. So, alright, we are adding an image, and we are using this one, and yeah, there we go, super too big, but yep. So on the other side, and also because I don't like it in that angle, flip horizontal. So yes, that is my frowny Karen avatar. Alrighty, so yes, Karen. Why are you talking to me? Stranger. Why wouldn't I talk to you? We're on a bus. Buses are one of the best places to meet new people, hands down, and you're the only person left to meet. So, anyway, this girl comes up to us, swinging her purse, yelling about how she was gonna call the cops or whatever. It was hilarious. She actually hit my friend, and he said it hurt a lot, so I guess she really was mad and not just playing. But she kept swinging, and soon enough she lost her balance and fell into the harbor all on her own. We didn't even have to push her. We had a good laugh and fished her out, and her phone got soaked, so she couldn't call the cops on us. We wound up hanging out all day. She kind of became my girlfriend after that, and we've been on and off for about a year, so it's pretty serious. Though, about 5 months ago, she tried to break up with me, like, for real, and geez, you ever just get so mad you want to, like, kill somebody? Yeah, let's go with Karen. I kind of feel like killing someone right now. I don't like horrible people waking me up to tell me about their horrible thoughts. Stranger. What can I say? I'm an interesting guy. Anyway, you'll get it when someone tries to break your heart someday. It changes a person. Makes them think things they never thought they could. I honestly could have killed that woman. Ha! Oh my gosh, Johnny, this conversation right here is your character's villain origin story. Yeah, legit. So yeah, stranger continues. Anyway, she's given birth to our son right now, so I'm trying to get up to Virginia to be there for it. But I don't know if I'm, like, into that stuff, so I might just wind up on a bus to New York or something instead. I've always wanted to go there. Yeah, let's go back to Karen. Your girlfriend is giving birth right now, and you're thinking about ditching her to go have fun in New York after she tried to break up with you and you threatened to kill her? Stranger. Hey now, I never threatened to kill her. Okay, maybe over text, just a little, but fatherhood is scary. Plus her mom is there, so it's not like she's alone. Her mom doesn't like me much, so it'd probably just make things super stressful. She'll understand. She's chill. Anyways, where did you say you were headed? Yeah, let's go with Karen. I didn't. Stranger. No need to be nasty. I was just asking. Not like I'm gonna follow you off the bus or anything. Ha! So, if you aren't getting off at my stop, then you must be headed to Scarlet Hollow, right? Or the Holler, as they call it in these parts. That's the only other stop until this bus turns around. I ride it pretty often, so I'd know. Almost nobody ever goes up that way. Though, come to think of it, I had a couple of buddies who went up there to work in the mines. There's a coal mine up in the holler, you see, and there's always a job listing or two on the boards around here. I never wanted to do that kind of thing myself. I like my lungs the way they are, thanks, but my buddies got desperate enough to try it. I haven't heard from them in a while now that I think about it. I should see if they're on Facebook, see how they're doing up there. Hope they didn't die! Ha! He looks back at his phone, for once focused on something other than you. Stranger. Oh, this is me. It was lovely meeting you. Hope you don't get too bored without me around to talk to. Here, I have something for you. The stranger rifles through his pack before presenting you with a dripping bag of peanuts. Stranger. They're boiled peanuts. I got them at a gas station a few buses back. I noticed you haven't eaten much, so I figured you could use them more than me. Plus, they dripped all over my bag, so I don't want to carry them anymore. Yeah, Karen. Screw you and screw your peanuts. Stranger. Hey man, I'm just trying to be friendly. Look, there's a good 45 minutes left in your journey, pal. Assuming nothing goes wrong, best to have them on hand. The young man sets the peanuts down on the empty seat next to him. The juices dribble out through the bottom of the bag and into the upholstery, instantly soaking it in peanut brine. Stranger. And with that, I leave you. Safe travels, friend. Oh, the stranger in the bus. The worst character. And just like that, you're alone. The stranger's peanuts soaking into the seat across from you. Maybe you can finally get some sleep. Bus driver. Next stop, Scarlet Hollow. End of the line. Almost there. The bus finally comes to a stop, its brakes squealing as it deposits you in front of the Scarlet Hollow bus station. The sign at least reads bus station, but calling it that feels disingenuous. At best, it's a kiosk. Though, for a small town like this, you're amazed there's so much as a road, let alone a bus that drives on it every week. The driver quickly shuts the door behind you and starts the engine, kicking up dust clouds as he pulls away, eager to leave you and this place behind. Question marks, but I've played this game enough times that we know this is Tabitha. Tabitha. Hey, Karen. You instantly recognize the worn young woman from the few public photos on her Facebook page. She's your cousin Tabitha, and she looks annoyed to be here. Karen. Hey, Tabitha! Tabitha. Come on, let's get back to the estate. I don't want to spend any more time down here than I have to. Your cousin turns and motions to an old BMW parked near the bus kiosk. You follow her, clambering into the dusty relic. It doesn't take much driving before the only signs of civilization are the car you're in and the road you're on. Tabitha maintains an icy silence as she focuses on the road. Yeah, this feels like where Karen would start out with. Karen. I guess we're both members of the Dead Moms Club now, huh? Your cousin turns to stare at you, an icy hatred in her eyes. Maybe this would have worked to ease the tension if she were someone else, but she isn't. She turns back to the road, her expression cold and unforgiving. I guess let's try this. Karen. So, the funeral, it's on Sunday, right? Tabitha. Yup, like I told you. Karen. Geez, that's almost a whole week. Couldn't I have grabbed a later bus? Tabitha. Bus only comes on Monday. You decide to sit in silence with your cousin as the car eases up the steep mountain road. Oh, see you later, Johnny. And here it is, the Scarlet estate. Though it's seen better days, its crumbling elegance is not lost on you, someone used to cramped apartments in gray cities. Your mother told you about this place many times before she passed, always with an anger burning beneath her words. The faded majesty you once imagined doesn't quite compare with what's in front of you, a jarring blend of opulence and ruin. As you stare at it, perched on the crumbling cliffside, you can't help but feel like it's something that should have been left to rot a long, long time ago. You're hit with a blast of dusty air as you step across the threshold and into the foyer. Everything in this room has been here for much longer than you've been alive, each object cemented in place with layers of dust and cobwebs. You can hear doors creak on their hinges and the aches and moans of ancient floorboards as the house itself sways in the wind. Tabitha. Welcome to our family's humble estate. Unfortunately, due to the current state of the house, only a few rooms will be safely accessible during your stay. I wouldn't go wandering anywhere else if you value your limbs. The floors have been known to give out. If you know what's good for you, you'll stick to your room, your bathroom, and the kitchen. And the hallways, I guess. But only the hallways you need to use to get to those places. I'll show you around so you know where it's safe to walk. You can leave your bags here for the time being. This is the correct option for the Karen run. Karen. I thought y'all were loaded. Can't you afford to fix this dump? Tabitha's dagger-filled eyes are as much of an answer as you're going to get. Tabitha. Let's get this tour over with. Follow me. You put your bags down and follow Tabitha through a long, dusty hallway. She delicately steps over holes and tears in the floor, and you do your best to retrace her steps. Tabitha. Kitchen. On Wednesdays, a woman from town comes in and does the cleaning. Her name is Janie. I wouldn't recommend socializing with her. She'll talk your ear off. If you need any food, there's fixings for peanut butter and jelly. Mystical. As Tabitha speaks, your eyes are drawn to the windows and to the overgrown garden outside. Dread and anxiety grip your lungs, and you can almost feel the ground beneath you start to slip. This place is a step away from being swallowed up and vanishing forever. Tabitha. Don't touch my mac and cheese or my ice cream. Those are off limits. Oh, and you can also access the garden through here, but it's pretty wild, so I wouldn't if I were you. Yeah, let's go with Karen. I'm sorry, someone cleans this place? Tabitha. Why do you ask? Not up to your sparkling city standards? Out here in the country, we know how to put up with a little dirt and grime. Karen. I might want to eat something other than PB&J this week. Is there somewhere in town we can get groceries? Tabitha. Well, aren't you fancy? Yeah, there's a general store. There's also a diner. I usually order my food in bulk online, though, so I wouldn't be going with you. Karen. A general store? How folksy. Tabitha. Is it? It's a store that fulfills your general shopping needs. General store just describes what it is. Karen. All right, what's next on the tour? Tabitha. Bathroom. Follow me. Karen. Great, it's been hours since I've gone. As the two of you leave the kitchen, you pass by a tuxedo cat sitting on the countertop. Karen. Is that your cat? What's its name? Tabitha. Frou Frou, do not try to pet her. If she wants to be pet, she'll let you know. Karen. Trust me, I'm good with animals. Who's a good kitty? You decide to ignore Tabitha's advice and pet Frou Frou anyways. She bites you hard and hisses violently. Tabitha. What did I just tell you? Come on, let's continue the tour. You once again follow Tabitha through a long, dusty hallway. Maybe after a few nights it'll get easier to navigate these spaces, but for the time being you feel lucky to have not fallen through the floors. Tabitha. Guest bathroom, not much to show. It's a bathroom. I'll wait outside. Do what you must, if you must. It is a wretched bathroom. Piles of junk sit untouched in the corners of the room, and mystery stains paint the floor. Karen. This is the worst bathroom I've ever seen. You can practically hear Tabitha roll her eyes at you from the other side of the bathroom wall. Tabitha. It'd be a lot nicer if Janie didn't have a policy about bathrooms. She cleans mine, but refuses to do more than that. So you can blame her for the state of the place. Karen. Janie isn't the only person capable of cleaning things. Tabitha scoffs from outside of the room. Tabitha. Hurry up and do your business so we can move on with our lives. You aren't desperate enough for this. Karen. You know, on second thought, I don't think I need to go. Tabitha. You might as well try since we're here. Karen. Is there another bathroom I could use? Tabitha. There's my bathroom and my departed mother's, but this one is the guest bathroom, so you should get used to using it. Karen. Nah, I'm good. You leave the bathroom and rejoin your cousin and finish the tour. You still have to go, but it can wait until later. Maybe you'll sneak out into the garden. Okay, my headcanon is actually like the minute that Tabitha leaves the house, she goes and sneaks into Tabitha or Pearl Ann's bathroom. Tabitha. Next up, guest bedroom. Last stop on the tour. Follow me. You and Tabitha briefly return to the foyer before climbing the stairs and reaching the guest room. The room smells old. Dust, mildew, wood rot. It has it all. A week of sleeping in this place might give you permanent lung damage. Tabitha. This is where you'll be staying. The linens are fresh. I had Janie wash them last week. I had to endure a half-hour rant about her kid to get her to do it, so you'd better be grateful. Mystical. An unmistakable stain coats this room. Someone has died here. No, people have died here. Tabitha. The closet is full of old family stuff, so you can't hang your clothes up, but you can use the dresser. It should be empty. Karen. What a dump! I hate it! Tabitha. A dump? This is a historic landmark you're staying in for free. City folk really are rude. Each and every piece of furniture in this room is a genuine antique handed down through the family for generations. Sorry if it's not the flimsy IKEA McFurniture you're used to. You frankly don't deserve to be sleeping here, if you ask me, but my mother wouldn't want me turning you out onto the streets, so here we are. Lucky for you, I have a good enough sense of common decency to continue to host you rather than throw you out on the streets. You can't think of anything else you'd like to say. You remain silent and wait for Tabitha to say something. Tabitha. I take it you don't have any other questions? Good. Follow me, I'll take you back to the foyer so you can collect your belongings. This concludes our tour. I'm afraid I must return to my duties, so you'll have to entertain yourself for the rest of the day. Don't expect to see much of me. Yeah, I think I'm actually gonna go for this because I feel like Karen is probably completely oblivious to how freaking rude she is. Karen. Why are you being such a jerk to me? You asked me to come to this funeral, but since the moment I got here, you've been acting like I spat in your coffee. What's going on? Was it something I said? Tabitha. Look, I'm sorry I've been testy since you've gotten here, but you aren't exactly one to talk. You've been a horrible guest. Maybe we can start fresh tonight. Just stay out of my hair until then, okay? I have work to do. Karen. What am I supposed to do while you're gone? Tabitha. There's a very demanding job I should be getting back to right now that doesn't include figuring out activities for you to occupy your time with. I'm not your babysitter. Why don't you go walk around in town or something until you get tired? There are historic buildings to look at. I'm sure you'll have a great time. Yeah. Karen. Do you think you could take me to town before you leave? Tabitha. No, it's just down the hill. You can walk there yourself. You decide to let Tabitha leave for work. Tabitha. Are we all set then? I'll see you tonight. Your cousin leaves through the front door, and now it's just you. You and this sprawling, decrepit estate. Let's settle into the room. Now that your cousin is gone, the aches and pains of your journey sink into your bones. You stumble back up the stairs to your room, suitcase in tow, eager to unwind before you face the rest of the day. You stand at the entrance to your room. Yeah, I'm not going to do all of these things, but we'll glance at the closet. You can see why your cousin said you should put your clothes in the dresser instead of this closet. There must be decades of family history stacked up in here. Some things are best left untouched. We chose not to pick up the doll. You close the closet behind you. You drag your suitcase over to the dresser and open the bottom drawer. An opossum lurks within. It is quiet but angry. You close the drawer, leaving the marsupial in peace. This drawer belongs to the opossum, and there is nothing you can do about it. You open the top drawer next. It's empty, as good a place as you'll find to put your clothes. Based on the state of the house, you wonder if you'd have been better off keeping your clothes in your nice, clean bag, but there's no going back now. It doesn't seem like there's much else for you to do here right now. You haven't had anything to eat all day. The only things louder than your stomach right now are the creaks and moans of this ancient place. A PB&J sounds like exactly what you need to take on the rest of the day. You head to the kitchen. You're back in the kitchen, ready to craft a beautiful peanut butter and jelly sandwich. You know what? I'm going to just say that the game thinks that I'm going to make a PB&J, but I'm pretty sure Karen is just going straight in, absolutely prepared to go for the mac and cheese. It's a daunting task given the state of the place, but the aggressive growls of your stomach outweigh your fear of food poisoning. To get started, you'll probably need to find some peanut butter, some jelly, a bread, a plate, and a knife. Yeah, nope, we're not actually here to make a PB&J. We're here to poke at the mac and cheese and the ice cream. Tabitha sure loves her mac and cheese. You pick up a box of Tabitha's mac and cheese. You can't say you've ever seen the brand before. Okay, on the one hand, I am tempted to find out what happens if you do this, but I also think Karen is more selfish than chaos. So, cook it for yourself. Your hunger is satisfied, but you can't help but wonder what consequences might await you in the future. Staying away from the mac and cheese was one of your cousin's hard rules, and she already seems to not like you. That's a problem for future you, though. As you approach the fridge, your eyes catch a note taped to the door reading, "Janie, stay out," in all caps. Below it, in separate handwriting, are the words, "Okie dokie." You open the fridge. You already feel a deep urge to wash your hands, even though you have yet to touch anything other than the handle. Not really gonna look at anything. I'm pretty sure I've decided that Karen is just going to, like, eat some ice cream out of spite, with the mentality of, like, if you expect me to stay in this absolute garbage dump, I don't feel obligated to follow your rules. Or some kind of messed up logic like that, which, let me make clear, is extremely, I am doing because it is rude, and is not a thing that polite people do. Tabitha explicitly told me not to do this, you think to yourself, as you reach for a pint of banana chocolate chunk. She'll be really mad if she finds out, your conscience warns you as you take a scoop straight from the pint and shove it into your mouth. Yeah, see, this game is assuming that Karen has a conscience. Before you know it, half the container is empty. There's only one way to fix this. Though you're already a little full, you dive back into the ice cream until the entire pint is empty. You then squash the container into a ball, trying to make it as unrecognizable as possible, before jamming it as far down into the trash bin as you can. Out of sight, out of mind. You return to the fridge, your guilt already subsiding. Sounds about right. Alright, close the fridge. You return to the kitchen, closing the fridge behind you. You're done here. Congratulations! You've eaten and have a full day ahead of you. What do you want to do next? Might as well head to town. There's not much left for you to do here other than head out and explore the town. You do just that. If you'd known you'd wind up having to walk all the way back to town, you probably would have just asked Tabitha to leave you at the bus stop, especially with how unhappy she seemed to see you. I am going to just skip that because I don't think Karen cares. It's really pretty out here. Continue down the path. Finally, you made it back to town. The holler, as that guy on the bus called it, has probably seen better days. It still has the feeling of an idyllic country town, but its sidewalks are cracked and many of the storefronts are boarded up, their windows dusty with age. A chill breeze sweeps down the lane and you shudder, suddenly feeling as if you're peering into a grave. Gretchen, come back! Quit bothering strangers! Sorry about that. Gretchen can be very slippery when she wants to be. She loves to get loose and cause havoc. Yeah, let's go with this one, actually, because Karen is rude to everyone now. Karen. Look, is that supposed to be a dog? Why do you have this horrible monster? Stella. I think she's cute. But I get it. She's an acquired taste for a lot of people, especially now that she's getting up there in years. She looks pretty good for 17, though. And as you've now seen firsthand, she hasn't slowed down at all. She's as spry as she's ever been. Yeah. Karen. I can't keep a straight face and say that this monstrosity is cute. Sorry. Like, breaking as the player to reaffirm that I actually think that Gretchen is, the way Gretchen is drawn, is super adorable. This is, Karen, any statements made by my character do not reflect the views of me, the streamer. Stella. Hey, I'm sorry. I feel like we got off on the wrong foot here. I'm Stella. It's not often I see a strange face up in the holler. Every now and then there's a new crop of coal folks, but you don't look dusty enough for that. You aren't in town for the funeral, are you? The Scarlet funeral? Karen. None of your business. Stella. Sorry, just curious. I just didn't think anyone would be coming into town for the funeral. How's Tabby holding up? I haven't seen her since Pearl Ann passed, or for a while before that, now that I think about it. Karen. I'm sorry, did I hear you right? Did you say Tabby? I can't imagine Tabitha ever going by something so bubbly. Stella. She did back when I knew her better. It's been a while. I hope she's okay. Karen. Why do you care? She's awful, and as far as I can tell, she openly hates me. Stella. If it's any consolation, that's how she is with everyone. I wouldn't take it too personally. I'm not sure what it says about her state of mind that she's still her same old grumpy self. Having somebody else at the house will be good for her, even though she'd probably never admit it. Karen. If that's really how she is with everyone, I don't see how you can think she's worth your time. Stella. I guess we just see the world differently. I don't really think about people as individually being worthy or unworthy of my time and attention. I have enough compassion to go around, you know? Especially in a small town like this. Trust me, there's a kindness at her core, as much as she doesn't want to admit it. Oh, if you just got to town, you must be starving. I was just on my way to the diner for a coffee, and they've got amazing biscuits. My treat. The pleasant aroma of greasy breakfast food hangs heavy in the air. In contrast with the empty, lifeless atmosphere of the family estate, the diner is filled with the comforting din of human life, all of which grinds to a sudden halt as the patrons realize that a stranger has entered the establishment. Karen. What are you looking at? Hello, welcome back, Johnny. I feel like I have been very much succeeding on this run of making Karen just the worst. And have already stated for the record that the views of this character do not at all reflect the views of the streamer who is playing her. She is the worst. The patrons of the diner continue to stare as you slide into a booth, doing your best to avoid their gaze. Stella. Ha! You probably made quite an impression with an introduction like that. Avery. Hey Stella, I went ahead and fixed you up a coffee. They gracefully place a cup of specially brewed coffee in front of Stella. Stella. Aw, shucks. Thanks, Avery. Avery. And here's some bacon for the little lady. Gretchen sniffs the bacon and digs in. Avery. Anything for you? Yeah, this feels like the most impolite option, and that's the goal. Karen. Stella said she's buying, so I'll have one of everything, please, and thank you. Stella. How about we start with some biscuits and coffee? Avery. No problem. Avery pours the fragrant brew into the empty mug in front of you. They linger after pouring your coffee, turning to you nervously. Avery. Oh, and I'm, sorry for your loss. Stella. One of everything, huh? I guess you don't build muscles like that by dieting. Anyway, the funeral's not till Sunday, right? That gives you quite a bit of time to slum around town. I'm trying to think if there are any cool events going on this week. There's always the reading adventure at the library, which is supposed to be for little kids, but I do it every month anyway. Oh, and I'm pretty sure Avery's throwing a party Saturday night, so that's a fun thing to look forward to. And there's the weekly Sunday potluck. That should be right after the funeral, too, so it'll be a special occasion. Karen. I'm not gonna lie, none of that is really striking my fancy. Stella. You don't say. Those are just the big events, too, so even if you went to them all, they wouldn't come close to covering the day-to-day. Do you have any plans on that front? Karen. What's it to you? We just met. I don't have to tell you all my plans. Stella. Fair enough, fair enough. I'll just keep listing things to do around town then, and you don't have to tell me if they sound good or not. You can hang out at the library. It's the oldest building in town, which is neat, and Oscar, the librarian, is super chill. The general store has a kind of a cafe area where you can get handmade herbal teas. And, of course, there's the woods, with limitless potential for fun. You seem to be of an independent nature. Wow, sorry, I'm just like, Stella. I have been noticing time and again, every time Karen says something super rude, Stella just kind of rolls with it. And it's like, I see how it is that she was able to befriend Tabitha. She is very good at just rolling with people with spiky exteriors. Like, her impressions may change over time as Karen proves that her interior is as spiky as her exterior. Karen is no tsundere, she is straight up tsundsun, to use anime terms. Anyway. Stella. Right, so the Stella's very polite way of saying, you don't really seem personable. You seem to be of an independent nature. Alright, so anyway, Stella. You seem to be of an independent nature, but if you ever want a hiking guide or just a buddy to walk the trails with, I'd love to show you around. I'm always out there with my camera for work. I know those trails better than anybody. Before Stella can finish, Avery returns, biscuit in tow. Avery. Hey, Winnie wanted to give you a biscuit. On the house. She sends her condolences. Karen. What do I look like? A charity case? I can buy my own biscuits. Thank you very much. I don't need your sympathy. Avery. Oh, I'm sorry. I guess you can pay for it if you really want to. Karen. No way, you already offered. But if your business fails because you keep giving freebies to people who can afford their own biscuits, don't expect any sympathy from me. Avery. Uh-huh. Good. Now that you've made that known, your snack awaits. Mystical. You pick up the biscuit. It's delicate and fluffy. It nearly crumbles at your touch. Buttery warmth emanates from its surface. You don't even need to taste it to know that it is good. Divinity given buttery form. You take a bite. It melts in your mouth as if it was nothing but butter suspended in a thin matrix of dough. Truly, this is the perfect biscuit. Lie. I've had better. Karen. It's good, but I've had better biscuits in my life. You ever been to this restaurant called Bojangles? I had one of theirs on the bus ride over here. Now that was a good biscuit. You're lying through your teeth. This was the best biscuit you've ever had. Avery. Yeah, I've heard of Bojangles. Stella. To each her own, I guess. Avery lingers at the table for a moment. Avery. So, has Stella mentioned she's famous? Stella. Ha ha, oh Avery, I'm not famous. Avery. Look, if you're not going to go around tooting your own horn, you know I'm going to do it for you. Stella sighs. Stella. I'm a YouTuber. Karen. Ugh, you and everyone else. Stella. Yeah, a lot of folks are starting channels these days, it's true. But I think I'm making it work, and I love making videos, so why not make money off my passion while I can, you know? Avery. Plus, her channel's really good. You should check it out sometime, Karen. She hunts cryptids. It's like the Discovery Channel, but with better research. Karen. Wait, how do you know my name? Avery. Oh, sorry, it's just that most people in town know about you. Sorry, I'm sure that must seem creepy. Stella. Ah, well, I guess the cat's out of the bag. The Holler is a small place. Everybody knows everybody, and that includes extended family. Karen. Sorry, this is all just a little unsettling. Knowing I've been talked about but not knowing what's been said is weird. Stella. I'm sure it is, but at least you're here now. Avery. Yeah, and anything Pearl Ann said about you won't hold up to meeting the real you. You can always make a good first impression and wipe the slate clean with the whole town. And if that fails, you can always make a good second impression. Karen. Ugh, what a jerk. We've never even met. Avery. Ah, geez. Look, I'm sorry I said anything. Stella. Trust me, a lot of folks feel the same way. Pearl Ann was a gossip and would do this sort of thing with everyone. Spreading weird little rumors about folks was kind of her trademark. Avery. Anyway, weren't we in the middle of talking about Stella's illustrious YouTube career? Stella. I guess we were, weren't we? Avery. I think the best video to start with would be that river one. Not the lake, but, you know, the controversial one. Stella. Oh yeah, the Catawba River Runner. I didn't expect much out of that footage at the time, but it wound up being my most popular video by far. So, the River Runner is a cryptid that's only known from a single sighting. 2 Boy Scouts thought they saw something big and weird in the Catawba River. And that's all I had to go on. But then I wound up catching this on camera. Stella pulls out her phone and shows you a clip of something in a river. Stella. Some folks said it was a beaver, but if that's the case, it'd be at least twice the size of any beaver I've seen. I also had people saying it was a dog or even a capybara that must have escaped from a local wildlife sanctuary. I'm still not sure what it was, and I'm the one who saw the thing with my own 2 eyes. I don't know about, I'm trying to decide between I bet I could take it or no, I think we'll just go with Karen. I don't believe in cryptids. This footage could have been anything. Stella. But that's the fun part, isn't it? Plus, some cryptids have actually turned out to be real. Could you imagine your face if you didn't know what a platypus was and I started describing one to you? Or a giant squid? You'd think I was nuts, but you'd have been wrong. Avery. Personally, I'm a fan of the capybara theory. Sure, it's not like any local sanctuaries were missing one, but there's always people keeping exotic animals as pets. Kind of a sewer gator type situation. Stella. Ha, exactly. Some exotic pet owner set it free and now it will forever roam the Catawba, confusing Boy Scouts and YouTube commenters for years to come. So, speaking of things to do around town, I was actually planning on filming this week's video tonight. I was wondering if maybe you'd want to come along? It's a pretty easy one this week. We wouldn't even have to camp anywhere. I'm gonna go after the... Avery. Wait, no spoilers. Stella. Whoops, sorry, Avery. Avery. It's okay. I should probably get back to it instead of standing around chatting. See y'all around. Stella. Now that the coast is clear, I'm going after Skunk Ape. Karen. Isn't that just worse Bigfoot? Stella. Huh, it's definitely one of the lesser ape-type cryptids, and one of the smellier, according to some sources. They say you should be able to smell it before you can see it. I don't know about you, but I find the idea of discovering something previously unknown to be excitement enough, even if it is just worse Bigfoot. Most skunk ape sightings are from Florida, but while I was doing research for last week's video, I came across a report where a lady from a town over claimed to have seen one on her deck, playing tug-of-war with her dog. And as I leave no stone unturned, I decided it was worth investigating. So what do you say? Want to tag along? Hold the camera for me while I narrate against a darkening sky? That sort of thing? Karen. No. Stella. Aw, it'll be fun, I promise. Even if we don't find a skunk ape, the woods have a lot to offer. You'll be able to see the stars at night with no light pollution whatsoever. You're guaranteed to encounter some interesting wildlife, and best of all, you get to eat hiking snacks. They're my favorite part of hiking, so I always have a full stock. Most of the snacks are homemade, too, in case that tempts you. Karen. You're not gonna let this go until I say yes, are you? Fine, I'll come, but those snacks had better be good. Stella. Don't you worry, I take my snack making very seriously. Hear that, Gretch? It won't be just you and me. We'll have somebody else with us, just like old times. That was actually how the channel got started. Me and my middle school buddies, Kanika and Reese, running around in the woods, flipping over rocks and bothering salamanders. Our videos were terrible, but we had a lot of fun, and that's all that mattered to us. You know, that gives me a thought. Since I've already invited another person along, it might be fun to extend the invitation to my old chums, see if we can't make it a little reunion special or something. Though, I guess Kanika has to close out the general store tonight, so I'm pretty sure she's a no-go. But Reese, I think there's a decent chance we could get him to come out of his hidey hole if he's up for it. Do you mind if I make a quick call? Stella pulls out her phone and dials it, waiting while it rings. Stella. Reese, dude, what's up? Feels like it's been forever. Silence. Aw, man, I'm sorry to hear that. Do you want me to come by, or... Okay, if you're really sure, but if you change your mind... Oh, I was just calling to ask if you wanted to come out to the woods tonight. I'm taking someone new there to shoot a video. She's Tabitha's cousin? I know! Yeah, just here for the week. Anyway, we're going out to look for skunk ape. We could take the easier trails, if that would help. Dang, man, that sounds awful. I hope you take it easy tonight. I'll swing by sometime this week and we can have a more low-key hang. How's that? Yeah, I'll bring her. Talk to you soon. Bye, bud. Looks like it's just you and me. Karen. Did he ask you to bring me to his house? Why? Stella. He's excited to meet you, of course. I think you'll find most folks in town are. Karen. What's his deal? Stella. He's not feeling well, that's all. He's had a lot going on in the past, 10 years or so? But I feel like it's gotten a lot worse recently. I can't remember the last time I saw him leave his house. Oh well, it's not my place to talk about, really. I just got a little excited thinking about having him along again. He's hilarious. You'd love him. We should swing by his place sometime this week. Karen. Ugh. Haven't I met enough people already? Stella. You're funny. See, that's why you gotta meet Reese. You remind me of him. I guess that means you'll either get along swimmingly or become bitter rivals. Each has its merits, I think. Anyway, something to think about for later. For now, we've got a skunk ape to hunt. So, we should probably head out if we want to make it up the mountains before it's too dark. Come on, let's blow this popsicle stand. You pause before getting up. Maybe it's time to make a good first impression. After all, it seems everyone in town has heard awful things about you from your now-deceased aunt. Don't leave a tip. You didn't spend any money. Is, of course, Karen's choice. It's not like you asked to come to this diner or asked for Avery to stand by and chat with you and Stella, and on top of that, you didn't even pay for any food, so why should you leave a tip? What is there to tip for? You get up from the table guilt-free as Stella pulls out a $5 and lays it on the table. Stella. Thanks for the coffee, Avery. See you later. She turns to leave the diner, and you follow close behind. It hadn't been very cold. Actually, I'm trying to see if there's any music. I feel like there's not been music for a bit. Settings. Yep, nope. Just nothing going. Weird. Alright, I do want to take a break, but I'm going to keep going until there is background sounds again. Just because I like having background sounds up when I put on the BRB screen. It hadn't been very cold when you first arrived in town, but as the sun dips closer and closer to the horizon, a chill descends upon the hollow, and you see your situation with renewed clarity. You're in a new place, far from civilization and the people you know, following someone you just met into a dark forest in search of monsters. You feel an overwhelming sense of foreboding, which seems only natural considering where you are. Your instinct screams at you to leave. but at the same time, you're curious to see what the night has in store for you. You decide to go with the flow, to keep putting one foot in front of the other, and to not dwell too much on this strange feeling. There we go. Alrighty, I will be right back. See you soon. Alright, hello again. I am returned. Also, I must read, Johnny headed out, I must read his message, which was, have fun making enemies. Which, yep, is about what we're doing here. Alrighty. Right, sorry. Let's continue. Stella. Gotta love this brisk fall weather. This past summer was the hottest on record, since last year at least. You know how it is these days. Each summer is the hottest yet until the next summer, which always finds a way to be so much worse. It's just nice to feel a chill in the air and see the leaves change, like normalcy is restored, if only for a moment. Sorry if that was a bit of a bummer. We should talk about something more fun, like skunk apes. Karen. Has anything bad ever happened on one of these hikes? You know, just curious. Stella. Let me think. There was that time back in early high school when Reese fell down a cliff. But he was fine. We had some folks from town rig up a pulley and get him out of the ravine, and his leg only took a couple months to heal. All in all, not too bad. Though, I guess there was also that time I was out here alone, and I kind of got stuck in a cave. I was getting great footage of what I thought was a family of wampus cats, but I wasn't able to wiggle my way back out. Turns out the wampus cats were actually skunks who very much did not appreciate me blocking the entrance to their hidey hole. And instead of running for help, Gretchen just sat outside, bored to tears. Lassie she is not. It took about an hour to get loose, which was pretty intense, but a few tomato juice baths later I was right as rain. So it could have been a lot worse. Oh, and there was that time I accidentally stumbled onto old Duke's property and nearly got my head shot off. But that happens to everybody sooner or later. I'd barely count it. So yeah, these hikes aren't all that dangerous, all things considered. Karen. I'm sorry, did you say you almost got shot? Are you sure it's safe here? Stella. You know, I'm a little surprised to see you getting cold feet. I know we just met, but I had you pegged as pretty adventurous. I really wouldn't worry about Duke, though. He might be a little jumpy, but he means well. And these trails are a ways off from his farm. And if it makes you feel any better, I've been out on the trails with him before. The man sounds like a truck crashing through the woods when he walks. We'll hear him long before he sees us. And the wildlife isn't anything to be afraid of either. The worst I've seen up here is the occasional black bear, and even they scare easy. But hey, there's no point worrying about whatever bad stuff may happen to us. Sure, sometimes worrying can help you prepare for something, but we're as prepared as we can be. I even carry bear mace. And if you're as prepared as you can be, why give in to your anxiety when you can have fun instead? It's not like being anxious ever stops anything bad from happening. In my experience, all it does is make the bad things worse. Alright, I know I've seen this screen before, but just like, I do have Stella saying this gives me very say it again louder for the back vibes. Stella. The only thing you can do is tell yourself, this has happened. There's no going back to before this bad thing happened. And then you work on making things better. Anyway, all this is to say we're good. Don't worry. Karen. Let's move on. Stella. Did you hear that? Oh, calm down, Gretchen, you old mutt. Same to you, Stella. You're always jumping at nothing, girl. Stella. Phew, sorry for getting spooked, Duke. I thought you were... Duke. Some creature of darkness? Nah, girly, just old Duke. Now what the hell are you looking for way out here? Stella. Skunk ape. Duke. Sorry I asked. And who's this you've suckered into coming with you? Wait a tick. You aren't. Is that? Stella. Yup. Duke. I see. Welcome to the holler. My condolences. I'll keep you in my prayers. Now both of y'all head on back to town, you hear? It's best you steer well clear of this area tonight. I'm out dealing with my own critter and won't be too appreciative of a couple fools with a camera scare away the more sensitive wildlife. Stella. What are you hunting tonight? Something tall and hairy? Something musky? You see anything like that recently? Duke. Wouldn't you like to know? You never could stay in your business, Stella Richmond. Put that damn camera down. Stella. Aw, come on, Duke. Maybe I could help out. I'm pretty good at tracking. You know I learned from the best. Duke. That you did, but I've yet to see a shred of proof that you listened to any of it, the way you tromp around the woods at night yelling about chunkabungas or what have you. Something's been getting at my chickens. I've lost 3 this week, and I can't afford to lose many more than that. Stella. I'm so sorry to hear that, but... I wonder if Skunk Ape has a taste for chicken. Duke. Now see, this is why I don't come to you about these things. It ain't no Skunk Ape, whatever the hell that is. I know exactly what this is, but you won't believe me if I tell you. Stella. Oh, Duke, you don't think it's... Duke. I do, actually. It's those damn mountain lions. They're out there, Stella. I don't care what your little investigation turned up. You haven't been out in these woods as long as I have. Those sons of bitches are sneaky. Of course you wouldn't find any in one night of tracking. And I know for a fact that's what's been getting at my chickens. It couldn't be anything else. Stella. I'm telling you, man, mountain lions are extinct in these parts. There hasn't been an actual sighting since the 1990s, and even those were iffy. Duke. I can't believe you go out there on your YouTubes saying some river monster spotted by a couple school-age Boy Scouts has been 100% confirmed, yet Appalachian cougars are some kind of far-fetched fantasy made up by geezers like me. You made me look like a fool. I read those comments people were posting on your video. They were calling me all kinds of names just for seeing things with my own eyes that I know to be true. Stella. I'm sorry, Duke. I didn't mean to sick anybody on you. I just don't think it's plausible. Duke. You'll eat those words when I come carrying a mountain lion corpse out of those woods at dawn. And if you two don't want a face full of buckshot, I'd suggest you run home and stay out of the woods tonight. Mystical. As Duke's words leave his mouth, a sinking feeling starts to pull at your stomach, and you glimpse brief flashes of something terrible to come. Whatever it is, the 4 of you are bound to meet it, and it will change you forever. Powerful build. Your focus is drawn back to your physical form, and the feeling subsides, at least a little. Perhaps the worst of this terrible thing, whatever it is, isn't yet set in stone. Oh, that's cool, actually. I've never seen mystical plus powerful build on this, where... So mystical gives you a premonition that something bad is going to happen, but this is the chapter where powerful build will get you out of the jam. So you're like, something terrible is going to happen with mystical, but then powerful build is like, but maybe you can... Maybe it's not set in stone. That said, Karen is in absolute denial of her mystical powers. This feels like the rudest thing that Karen could possibly say. Gotta have everyone dislike her. Karen. What's the big deal? Aren't chickens really cheap? Can't you just buy new ones? Duke. I don't even know where to begin with what just came out of your mouth. Don't you know it ain't polite to ask about finances? And don't you know how important a man's chickens are? They keep food on my table, they keep my soil fertilized, they help me earn a living, and most of all, they're my pride and joy. I raised them all with my own 2 hands, been with me since they was first laid by their mamas. They're family. The chickens we lost last week, they was the prettiest little Wyandottes you'd ever meet. They'd come up and eat right out of my hand, sit on my lap. Sure, I'll raise more chickens, but there's no replacing birds like these. Karen. Oh, come on. They're just birds. Duke. Just birds? You little... Why, I could... Stella. Duke. It's okay, man. I'm sure she didn't mean it. Karen, I think it's best we leave the man to his cougar hunt. I'm sure my followers will understand if the video is late this week, because I had to film another night. Duke. That's right. Get on home, you two. Best you stay out of trouble with that. As you and Stella return to the trail, she carefully looks back the way you came. Stella. Okay, the coast is clear. There's no way we're letting Duke edge us out that easy. Come on, I know a trail that'll let us get around him. Karen. Nuh-uh, no way. Not with Duke and his shotgun out there. I like my head intact, not blown to pieces. Thank you very much. Stella. Aw, you don't have to worry about old Duke. I've been out tracking with him before. The man sounds like a truck crashing through the trees when he walks. Even if we do cross paths, we'll hear him long before he catches wind of us. Karen. Oh, fine. There's no shaking you, is there? You'll just follow me until I relent and go monster hunting with you. Stella. I promise it'll be fun and safe. The trail's just up this way. Let's go. Stella. All right, this looks like a good shot. Mind holding the camera? She hands you the camera and takes position. Stella. As night falls, my new assistant, the mysterious Karen, and I find ourselves on a high hill in the Blue Ridge Mountains, where we'll begin our hunt for the elusive yet pungent skunk ape. Though mostly encountered in Florida, this possible relative of Bigfoot has been spotted all along the southeastern edge of the United States, including right in this very county. Here's hoping we get a glimpse tonight. We'll check back once we're on the trail. Until then, stay searching, Stellars. I can take the camera off your hands for now. We'll be able to start the tracking scenes once the sun sets all the way. In the meantime, we get to take in all this gorgeous scenery. Mystical. Duke may be gone, but that feeling in your gut still lingers. Something terrible awaits you. Something unavoidable. Though what exactly is wrong in these woods still eludes you. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with this one. Karen. I'm a little distracted from not wanting to be out here anymore. Stella. Sorry. We can do our best to make this quick and then we can head back into town. Gotta keep with the update schedule, you know? Your quiet moment with Stella is broken by a loud, percussive snort. Yeah, I'm going straight for this one because it's so funny. Karen. Death has come for me at last. Goodbye, cruel world. Stella. No need to come to terms with your own mortality just yet. That's just the sound deer make when they want to warn the rest of their herd about big, scary predators like us. Let's check it out. As you and Stella hear the footfalls of animals retreating into the woods, she reaches for her flashlight. Oh, whoops. A single deer remains behind, staring down the beam of light while Gretchen whines and pulls at her harness. And then it's gone. Stella. Geez, Gretchen, calm down. You're gonna hurt yourself. She cannot handle deer. When she gets like this, I usually have to pick her up and hold her. She has a bad habit of slipping her harness when she wants to go after something. You're too much of a potato, and they don't make harnesses to fit potatoes, do they? Karen. It's never too late to turn back. I don't actually think I'm really cut out for this sort of thing. Those deer genuinely spooked me. I don't know if you want me weighing you down. Stella. Don't be so hard on yourself. You just aren't accustomed to the sounds of the forest yet. Karen, meanwhile, probably thinking, curses, because that was not less being hard on herself and more excuses. When you go on your first few night hikes, everything sounds like some horrible monster that's just waiting for an opportunity to shred you to bits. But eventually you realize it's mostly deer and raccoons, which probably won't go after you. Here, let's take a quick snack break before we get into the night's activities. Maybe some food will help settle your nerves. As you settle down to rest, Stella breaks open a bag of assorted snacks. You know what? I see no reason not to take one of everything. You grab as much as you can. Your body is a temple, and its priest demands offerings. Stella. Ha! Somebody's hungry, huh? I'm glad you're having such a good time with my food. You look at Stella in response, your mouth full of delicious snacks. There will be time for conversation when you're finished, but for now, you eat. You and Stella settle down on an overlook, snacks in hand, as the quiet sounds of evening wildlife wash over you. I do, as always, intend to show a certain spooky. Let me just, sorry, rearranging a couple things. Don't mind me. Doop doop. All right. Oops. Yes, here we go. That was what I was actually trying to do, so that's fine. There we go. Yes. So anyway, that was to show the of course now I can do that. To show the spooky eyes. Spooky eyes. Because yeah, absolutely. Anyone who has not played this game before, mild spoiler, but yes, Wayne is watching you. You and Stella settle down on a... Oh, I already read that part. Stella. So, tell me what it's like in New York. Do you have a house? An apartment? Do you live with family, roommates, pets? Tell me what it's like to be Karen. I don't like any of these options for my image of Karen, so I'm gonna not choose any of them and go with I'd rather not say. You shrug. Karen. I'd rather not say. Stella. Huh, sorry to pry. Do you mind if I ask what you do for work? You say nothing in response. Stella. Silence is good too. Actually, no. You know what? I'm sorry. That was not the correct choice. The correct choice was, Stella says, do you mind if I ask what you do for work? The correct Karen answer is... Karen. Yes. Stella. Alright then, I guess it's time to get back to the hunt. Whoa. Mystical. That sound wasn't meant for human ears. Whatever lurks behind the tree line is something best left unseen, but the events of this evening were already set in motion long before you stepped foot in Scarlet Hollow. There's no turning back now. Stella immediately packs her bag and slings it over her shoulder. No, we're still going with, like, Karen's, like, not inclined to share mystical insights. Let's go with Karen. Jesus Christ! Stella. Yeah, no kidding. Whatever made that sound, I've never heard anything like it. And it's close. Here, hold Gretchen's leash for me and let's check this out. You and Stella inch towards the tree line as she shines her flashlight into the woods. As you approach, a series of weak clucks call out from a nearby bush. Stella. Maybe Duke's birds weren't all eaten after all. What the hell was that? Hold on, I gotta play that back. Holy shit! I'm guessing it must be maybe 2-3 feet tall? It doesn't look hairy either, so I think we can rule out skunk ape. But whatever it is, it has one of Duke's chickens. It looks like it's headed north. Let's go after it. Karen. What have you gotten me into? Stella. Just the best part of cryptid hunting, but let's talk about it later. If we're catching this thing, we've got to go now. Stella sprints into the woods in pursuit, leaving you no choice but to run after her. Gretchen excitedly pulls you along by her leash. Stella. Oof. Karen. Oh god, the monster's got you! We're both gonna die out here! Karen. Stella. It's okay, settle down. No one is being attacked. I just tripped on something weird. Lost my footing. Oh no. That poor thing. It must have been one of Duke's. Oh Jesus, it's still alive! Karen. Jesus, Stella, don't go near that thing. That thing is diseased. Stella. Don't worry. I'm not going to touch it. Not with my hands, at least. And, hey, I'm sorry this is turning out to be so grisly. I swear that it's not normally like this. We can go home after I film this, if that's what you want. Karen. Yes, please. This is way more than I bargained for. Stella. Yeah, this is unexpected, to be sure. That's for sure. Let me just film this for a sec and we can head back. Stella. Ahem. It seems we found one of Duke's chickens, folks, and she's not looking good. I'm hesitant to speculate, but she definitely seems to have some sort of growth under her skin. Could be a tumor, could be something else. Either way, I don't think there's much that can be done for her at this point. Jeez, I'm gonna have to put up some massive content warnings for this video. Oh, you know what? I don't hear that, which means I'm gonna turn up the sound a little. There we go, now I hear that. Hopefully you all hear it too. Stella. Hey, do you hear that? Duke. What in Sam Hill are you two doing out here? Didn't I tell you to... Birdie? Oh, Birdie, what's wrong, darling? Good God. Did y'all see what did this to her? Yeah, no, I actually think I'm gonna go with the powerful build option here. Karen. I'm not telling you shit after you waved that gun in my face earlier. Duke. Why, you little... Stella. Duke, it's all right. We were on the trail when we found her like this. Whatever did this to her? I think we can hear them in the trees. Duke. Put that camera away, for God's sake, girl. I don't want to be in another one of your videos. No one needs to see me like this. No one needs to see Birdie like this. You wouldn't put her online, would you? Not when she's like this, all swollen and hurting. Stella. Duke, did you hear me? I think they're coming closer. Duke. Come out, you sons of bitches! Stella. Duke, don't shoot them! We have no idea what'll happen. Duke. Do you hear that, Stella? That ain't the sound of something peace-like. Whatever these things are, they'll pay for what they did to my girls. Come on, you, whatever your name is, grab that flashlight and help me line up a good shot. As the creatures in the tree line grow louder and more numerous, Gretchen violently strains against her harness. Duke. Quick! They're closing in on us! I just don't see Karen as a very heroic person, so although she could do both, she's not going to. In the past, when I've tried to do Karen run, I've always done dive for Gretchen because I've had her like animals, but in this case, I think her stance is gonna be like, since her main goal is like she is primarily self-centered, her main goal is self-preservation. And I think she's gonna be like, well, I don't want to see where he shoots if he doesn't have the light to see. Like, don't want him to shoot me, so in the interest of self-preservation, guess I'm grabbing that flashlight. Also, by the way, you do get an achievement if you have the option to pick a better option and you don't. So, like, I've done this before, so I've already gotten that achievement, but, like, when you could have saved them both but you don't, you get a achievement for having failed that one. You dive to the flashlight and swing your body towards the woods. Duke, I said aim the damn thing! Quick! Light up the woods. Duke, perfect. Just grazed it, but that should make it pretty easy to track, eh, Stella? Stella, yeah, a blood trail is pretty hard to miss. Guess we know it wasn't mountain lions after all. Though, it didn't look like any cryptid I've heard of either. This is going to be one hell of a video. As your heartbeat settles, you realize that Gretchen's stopped tugging at her leash. You look down, only to find an empty harness and the paw prints of a runaway dog. Stella, wait, where's Gretchen? Where's my dog? I hate this. Like, in a lot of these, I'm just like, okay, she's just being snide, it's not a big deal, but, like, some of these choices are actually cruel, and I mean, I guess this is along the same lines as her saying to Duke, they're just birds, but it feels so mean. So anyway, this is just me, the streamer, feeling the need to preface, I would never choose this in any other run. But I think the correct answer for casual cruelty Karen. Karen. She's just an animal. Stella. How can you say that? She's my best friend. How dare you? Gretchen, I'm coming for you. Duke. I'll be damned if I let her chase after those things alone. Alone, you have no choice but to follow Duke and Stella into the darkness. I guess I'll die, you think to yourself, a coward to your core. As the dark of the night surrounds you, the sound of a snapping branch cuts into your ears. If you're gonna die, it might as well be on your feet, surrounded by other people, rather than in the woods alone by monster or slow starvation. You steel your nerves and run after Duke and Stella. As you push deeper into the woods, the unearthly sounds once again surround you. Duke. Are you trying to get us lost? Slow down! Stella. I think we're almost there. The trees are starting to thin out. Duke. Lord, that smell! The shrieks pull back into steady whispers as you, Stella, and Duke stumble upon the putrid bodies of dozens of dead and dying animals. At the edge of it all, an immobilized Gretchen gurgles in pain as one of the creatures looms over her. A sinking realization pulls at your gut. This is their nest, and you are surrounded. Stella. Gretchen! As Stella steps towards the nest, Duke pulls her back. I like that Powerful Build has an option for this, but it's not what Karen would choose. Karen. We need to leave. Duke. Damn. The kid is right, Stella. They're circling us because they're protecting their brood, or whatever it is they've been planting in our animals. We have to get the hell out of here while we still can. Stella. You're right. There's nothing we can do right now, but Jesus Christ, I can't leave Gretchen like this. Duke, give me your gun. Duke. You're not thinking about... Stella. She's my dog, Duke. We can't save her, but I'll be damned if we leave her behind to suffer like the rest of these animals. Stella grabs Duke's gun and takes careful aim. Stella. Run! As soon as the gun fires, you, Stella, and Duke sprint back through the woods. The unearthly hollers and whispers of the nest nipping at your heels. In the highest branches of the trees, and down on the forest floor, they're all around you, casually keeping pace with your all-out sprint. Duke. Quick! My truck's down this way! You make it to the road, but 3 of the creatures stand between you and Duke's truck. Karen. What are you waiting for, Duke? Shoot them! Stella. Duke, you know what they're here for. Duke. Is this what you want? Is this what you want, you sons of bitches? Fine. Take her! Take her and leave us be! Stella. Duke. Duke. Get in the truck and let's get the hell out of here! Stella. Duke, do we have to take the truck back? I can just walk. Those creatures left. I'll be fine. Duke. Stella, now is really not the time. Stella. All right, I can do this. You squeeze into Duke's tiny 2-seater truck, tucking your legs on either side of the gear shift. Stella stares ahead in silence next to you. Karen. So, I guess it wasn't a mountain lion getting at your chickens. Duke. Yeah, I guess not. Can't say I know what I'm supposed to do with that information, though. Suppose the boy and I are in for some long nights guarding the rest of them from these things. I very rarely choose this option, and some of those dialogue options are not familiar to me, so I'm gonna just toss in an extra save. Where was I doing the Karen? Yeah, well, I'm just gonna throw in a save so I can poke at that later off stream. Don't worry about it. Cause Karen doesn't care about either of those options, so Karen. Car sickness, huh? She doesn't respond. Duke. That's her business. No need to go prying at a time like this. Let's focus on getting out of these woods before something else tries to come after us. He glances over to Stella, his hard face softening slightly. Duke. It'll be just a few more minutes. You'll be all right. Soon the rumble of gravel beneath the tires gives way to uneven pavement, and the truck comes to a stop in front of a small cottage. Stella. Thanks for taking me home, Duke. Duke. Anytime. But Jesus, Mary, and Joseph, what were those things? Stella. I have no idea. I've never heard of anything like them, but I got a ton of footage. Nothing really clear, but it's a start. Duke. I'd better go check in with Bo. He'll be worrying about me. You and your friends stay safe. Looks like those things didn't follow us, but, well, no point in talking about the buts. Just look out for yourselves. Karen. But I don't live here. Duke. Too bad. I ain't your personal chauffeur. Stay with Stella tonight. She's got the space, ain't you, girl? Stella. Yep, totally. I've got a guest bedroom with a bed and everything. Sheets, even. Duke. There. Taken care of. And here you are, back in town, away from the woods with no one but Stella in sight. Oof, Duke's voice is rough on the throat. Your phone buzzes in your pocket. Now that you're back in town, you must finally have reception again. 6 missed calls from Tabitha and 13 text messages. Karen. Yikes! Tabitha's been blowing up my phone. Stella. I guess she must have been worried about you. God, what a mess this night's been. Karen. Okay, Stella, why the hell would you ask if we could walk home? Stella. I just don't like cars is all. They're rolling death machines if you ask me. Sorry if I weirded you out. Karen. What happens now? Stella. We've got to find out more about those things. The library doesn't open for a while, so any real research will have to wait until the morning. That being said, there is someone in town who might have some useful information. My friend's mom. Her place isn't far. We should head over now before it gets any later. You see, before I did screw this, I'm out, but I have found out by poking around that there's so many more opportunities to be an awful rude person if you go to Kanika's place. So since that's the goal of this run, onward we go. Karen. Okay, sure, why not? Who cares? Let's keep this nightmare party going. Stella. What else can we do, really? Mrs. Forsythe is good people, and maybe she can help us get to the bottom of this. Let's go. I hope she's still awake. Oh boy, just when my throat was dead from doing Duke's voice, it's time for Wayne's voice. Karen. Stella. Jesus! You and Stella turned to see a shadowy figure staring at you from across the road. You didn't hear it approach. Welcome home. Mystical. You're finally back where you belong. Before you can respond, the door behind you swings open. An older woman stands in the entryway. Go home, Wayne. I can't help you tonight. You look back and the figure is already gone, disappeared into the shadows of the night. I'm sorry about that, Stella. Some people just can't be helped. What brings you out here so late? And who is this? Stella. Hi, Mrs. Forsythe. This is Karen. Is it okay if we come in? Mystical. You and Mrs. Forsythe briefly lock eyes. She's impenetrable, and you feel small and almost naked in her presence. There is something about her that is far beyond you, but you feel no threat, no malice. And then the moment passes, and you see only the middle-aged woman before you. Mrs. Forsythe. Of course. You're in luck. I just put on water for the hibiscus tea. And for goodness sake, you can call me Sybil. You're an adult now, after all. Welcome to my little nook. It's nice to finally meet you, Karen. I was so sorry to hear about your mother. Vivian was such a lovely soul, and she's been sorely missed in the holler. And now poor Pearl Ann is gone as well. Do let me know if there's anything you need while you're in town. Karen. Who is that outside? Sybil. Just a very sick man. You don't need to be worried about him. Karen. I never met Pearl Ann. You don't have to pass on your condolences to me. I have no feelings about the woman. Sybil. Ha! That's fair, child, but it seemed like the right thing to do. Regardless, I am sorry about your mother. We were good friends for many years, you know. You should come by sometime. I can delight you with unsavory tales of her youth. Karen. How did you know that she died? Sybil. Oh, Pearl Ann was a chatty woman. Not much went on that I wouldn't get an earful of, bless her heart. Sybil reaches over and pats your hand delicately. Hers feels like soft parchment paper, dry but soothing. Sybil. Now what's got you here so late, you two? You seem troubled. Stella. You know about weird stuff, right? Unexplainable stuff? Sybil. I'm not so sure I follow, dear. I know which oils to use for which aches. I know a bit about classical spiritualism. Just what sort of unexplainable things are you talking about? Stella. We ran into some creatures out in the woods. These things. I don't even know how to describe them. Sybil. I can't say I know much about the local wildlife. My daughter has always had a brighter gift for nature than I. Stella. This wasn't the local wildlife, Mrs. Forsyth. Here, I can show you. Stella pulls out her camera and tilts the screen towards Sybil. Sybil. Ah, one of your little videos. Where was this? Stella. Up the mountain to the northwest. Sybil. Within the town limits? Stella. Yes. Sybil. I see. Is there a way to make the video bigger and louder if you can? Stella. I'd need to plug the memory card into a computer. I could go back and get mine. Sybil. No need. Kanika should still be awake. She can lend us hers. You'd better come with, Stella. I'm sure she would be more willing to help a friend than her nosy mother. Kanika, come out. We could use a little help. Kanika. What, Mom? Oh, it's Stella. Hey, Stella. And a stranger. What are you doing in my house? Karen. I've been through a lot tonight. I can't say I'm really in the mood to introduce myself to yet another person. Kanika. Tabitha's cousin? Stella. Yep. Sybil. Sweetie, we were wondering if we could borrow your laptop. Stella and her friends have a video to show us. Stella. It's really important, Kanika. Kanika. Okay. My room's a mess. I'll just bring it out there. Stella. Heads up, Kanika. This is graphic. There's a lot of dead and sick animals on the recording. Kanika. You know I have a harder stomach than any of our friends. I'm pressing play. Silence washes over the room as the video plays. Kanika. Stella, what the hell is this? Did you film it? Was that Gretchen at the end there? Sybil. Silence. Kanika. Stella, where's Gretchen? Karen. She's dead. Kanika. Stella, I'm so sorry. Stella. It's okay, I'm fine. I just want to know what did this to her. Sybil. Unfortunately, if these creatures are what I think they are, what happened to Gretchen is but the start of something far more sinister. My grandmother called them ditchlings, and they are a terrible omen, a sign of great suffering and destruction to come. Kanika. Mom, come on, this is serious. Stop scaring Stella and Karen with this Tailypo crap. She just lost her dog. Have some respect. Sybil. Kanika, sweetie, let your mother talk. The creatures themselves are harmless to people, despite that grisly scene in the woods. But just as birds flock before a storm, the ditchlings congregate where tragedy is soon to fall. To see one is to be cursed by fate. To see so many in one place is... Sybil holds her silence. Kanika. Jesus, Mom, they've clearly had a rough night. They don't need this. Stella. It's okay, Kanika. This is helpful. Kanika. Stella, whatever these things are, they aren't magic. Stella. We can't rule that out. Not after what we saw. But fine. Let's focus on what we know. Whatever they are, they're doing something to these animals. You saw that nest. What were those growths? Yeah, no, the fact that I'm playing Karen as a mystical skeptic. Yeah, I think she will be on Kanika's side about this magic nonsense. Karen. Kanika has a point, Stella. Calling this magic is an easy out and jumping to a wild conclusion. The only things we know for sure are that these unknown creatures are in the woods and that they're doing something to the local wildlife. Kanika. Thank you. I'm wondering if what we're seeing on your video is some sort of parasitic larval stage, part of their life cycle. But I don't want to jump to any conclusions about something this out there, not without doing some research or talking to a biologist. I'm sure there's a rational explanation that'll clear all of this up. Sybil. Silence. Oh dear, I'd forgotten entirely about the tea I put on. Let me fix you up a couple of cups. It'll soothe your nerves. Stella. I don't know. It's getting late and I should let Karen get some rest. I ran her ragged today with all the hiking and running through the woods in terror. Karen. Thank God! Let this miserable night finally end. I'm tired as shit. I shouldn't have gone out there in the first place, and I certainly didn't sign up for this. Kanika. Cool it, Karen. Last I checked, it wasn't your dog that got taken. Stella. I'm sorry, I had no idea how bad it would get out there. It's never like this, I swear. Kanika. Don't apologize, Stella. Sybil. Here's hoping that a good night's rest will make it all seem like a bad dream. Stella, I'll send you home with some of my house-made peppermint tea. A cup a day does wonders to soothe the soul. Karen, it might do you well, too. Kanika. Bye, Stella. I'll see you tomorrow, okay? And call me if you need to talk. Stella. Thanks, Kanika. I'll see ya. Kanika. Bye, Karen. Sybil. It's excellent iced or warm, though with the nights getting chillier, warm will probably be best. Helps wake up the bones. Be careful out there, both of you. Sybil turns and closes the door behind her. Stella. Alrighty, let's head back home. My home, I mean. Well, this is me. Are you good finding your way back? Alright, out of character moment for a second. This is how you know that you have managed to actually alienate Stella, of all people. She rescinds her offer to let you stay. Karen. Wait, I thought you said I could stay the night. Stella. I guess I did, but I think I need a little time to myself. I know it was in the heat of the moment, but I can't stop thinking about what you said when Gretchen ran off. We'll talk tomorrow, all right? Here's my number. Call me when you get there, okay? And good luck. You and Stella exchange numbers. I'll see you tomorrow? Karen. I'm leaving town as soon as I can. I am not sticking around for whatever horrible nonsense is about to go down here. Stella. You know it's another week till the next bus, right? Karen. Then I'll get Tabitha to drive me somewhere. Stella. All right. Well, I'll check in with you tomorrow. Stay safe. Yep. It is absolutely possible for Stella to dislike you so much she won't let you stay the night and will force you to go home on your own. I don't... Anyway, let's keep going. You begin the long hike back up to the Scarlet estate alone. Almost home. You've made it. Your salvation in sight, you make a mad dash to the door. As you reach for the knob, the door swings open. Tabitha. Where the hell have you been? And did you seriously eat my ice cream after I specifically told you not to? Unbelievable. Yeah. Karen. I'm too emotionally exhausted to give a shit about your ice cream. Sorry, whatever. I went into the woods with this girl I met to find some cryptids, and a lot of really terrible things happened, so really not in the mood. Tabitha. Ah, so you met Stella then. Ugh, that explains everything. And she's gotten you all worked up. But that doesn't excuse the theft of my ice cream. You'll pay for that. Just you wait and see. I'm going to bed. I'll see you tomorrow. Karen, please. I need to leave this town as fast as possible. Tabitha, don't let Stella's nonsense worm its way into your head. There's no bus until next Monday, and there's no way I'm driving on those mountain roads. You're stuck here until the next bus comes, so settle down. Good night. You're alone in the estate. The sound of the wind whistling through the house gives you an uneasy feeling in your gut. It's probably best to turn in and try to leave the night behind you. As you settle into your room, you remember that Stella asked you to call her once you got back. You're too tired for a phone call. Stella can wait until the morning. From the relative safety... to be fair, I actually think, although that is rude to not call when Stella asked, I also think Stella, in this run, probably won't care as much as she would in others. From the relative safety of this uncomfortable bed, the events of the past evening seem like something that happened to someone else, though you can still clearly picture the terror you felt in those moments. For now, you're safe and you're warm. Eventually, the sun will rise and chase away the monsters and make them seem like nothing but bad dreams. Maybe tomorrow, if you're lucky, you'll wake up in the normal world and have a boring week in the mountains with your sour-faced cousin. It's a nice thought, but deep down, you can't help but worry that things will only get worse. So yeah, alright, yep, nope, this is... I'm going with third time was the charm indeed. This feels like what I was actually trying to go for with the Karen run, which is awful. I don't like being so mean to people, and I am going to follow up the Karen run once I've finished it. I'll go through the whole thing, chapter 1 through 4, and then I am going to immediately start on what I like to call the Good Cousin run, in which the goal is to be Tabitha's best friend, but I think I'm also going to lean in on, and also that character is super nice to everyone, because after the Karen run, I will need that. So yeah, I am not playing a character who is mean because I enjoy playing a character who is mean. In fact, I find this a little rough to play, but it is a combination, as I said at the beginning, of I really want to see what it looks like when the characters all dislike you, because I never play that way natively, and if I'm going to do that anyway, I'd like it to at least be of some use to others who also are curious to see what that would be like, but don't feel up to playing this on their own. So I hope you have enjoyed, anyone watching this today or later has enjoyed watching the Karen run, wherein the main character is just awful to everybody. And if you didn't enjoy it, you can just wait a couple weeks until I get to the Good Cousin run and watch that instead. Alright, thank you so much. Thank you again, Unicorn Now, if you're still here, for following. Thank you, Johnny One Take, for hanging out for a while and lurking. And thank you, anyone watching this VOD later. I appreciate you all very much. And I will be back. So I'm actually going to be trying to do every week again for a while, just to push through the last 2 Scarlet Hollow runs I want to do until Chapter 5 comes out. We save this here. We're saving over to the old version. And yeah, so check back next week if you want to see more of the Karen run. And otherwise, in terms of my future streaming plans, I should be doing my usual Friday stream this Friday, Friday afternoon stream of Earthbound Beginnings. And I think we'll probably be doing a multiplayer stream of some variety as usual. And then next Monday we'll be back to this. So, alright, thank you everyone, and I hope to see you later.